Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Danny Gobby Gymnasium, where tonight a winner of the region will be crowned and a team will take its place in Charleston, West Virginia in the 2021 state tournament as the Chapmanville Tigers at 7-6, the two-time reigning state AA champions, take on the 7-7 Wyoming East Warriors. Chris Kidd here with you alongside me, Nathan Bush with Daniel Miller, our camera operator on video productions, Robbie Mounts, our engineer on video productions, and Terry Bucklew, our engineer back in the WVOW studios. And Nathan, this is a matchup we've seen twice this year, both times coming right down to the wire, with Chapmanville winning 39-38 here and Wyoming East coming back from 4 down in the fourth quarter to beat Chapmanville 42-39 at their place. And now the rubber match takes place to see who will take this region and go to the state tournament.
Yeah, berth to the state tournament on the line tonight, Chris, between these two longtime foes, and this is a rivalry that goes back beyond this season. This is two teams that are very familiar with Charleston, and a lot of people would say this year compared to years past, these teams haven't been up to the expectations that they've had in the past. However, both teams are knocking on the doorstep to Charleston, so say what you will about both teams. They're doing something right because they've got a chance now to head to Charleston and play for a state championship.
And Chapmanville claimed their 6th consecutive sectional title last week and 7th in 8 years.
That's just wild.
It is. From where this program was to where it's gotten to has been an incredible run, and beating Liberty Raleigh 53-42, and that come from behind win to claim the sectional title. Chapmanville was able to get by them in that hard-fought contest. Wyoming East got here after they lost and were upset in the sectional final against Bluefield after they had won 4 in a row and had beaten Bluefield easily and twice in the regular season, but Bluefield beating them 45-43 in sectional action, where the Warriors shot just 6 of 21 in the first half, and that seems to be the theme against these two this season, is struggling from the field against one another because of the tough defense they both play.
But I'll say this, Chris, never count out anybody in sectional and regional play, especially a team with veteran coaches like Bluefield. That's a team that you can't sleep on, and they were down this year, but here they are hosting a regional final as well. So you can't count anybody out, especially the names you expect to be there, it seems like, are just going to be there. It doesn't matter how the season looked or went. But Wyoming East, again, a surprising loss. Didn't think they'd be on the road here. We kind of expected after that Chapmanville win they'd be playing Bluefield, but that was not the case, and now we get the third of the 3 matchups we thought we'd see between these two this season.
Well, we're going to step aside for a 2-minute break and come back after this to talk a little bit more about tonight's matchup and give you the starting lineups on both ends as you're listening to and watching Chapmanville Tiger basketball action right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on video productions.
Is Boone Memorial Hospital. Compassionate, personal, quality care that's close to home, with caring, skilled physicians and large private inpatient rooms.
Boone Memorial Hospital, bringing medicine home.
Community strong. We are Thornhill Ford Lincoln, your hometown dealer located on 119 near Chapmanville. Go Thornhill and expect the best with total value, support, and savings on your next vehicle. Don't miss out. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and thornhillford.net.
Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services, founded in 1975 by Riley Joe Evans, is a full-service funeral provider, and 2020 makes it 45 years of offering services that respect all faiths, personal preferences, and financial considerations. They're the only funeral home in Boone, Lincoln, and Logan with its own crematory. Contact Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services at 304-855-3232 or visit www.evans-funeral-home.com or like Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services on Facebook to see their updated obituary information.
There's that cute guy from 12C.
Don't talk to him.
Yeah, no. Plus, it's not even like he'd be into me or whatever.
Hi, you just moved in, right? I would love to tell you about all the great savings you can get for bundling your renters and car insurance with Progressive.
Oh, I was just...
Oh, Tammy, I found your retainer in the dryer.
Coach Bob Huggins here at your local Little General store. As I travel this great state, it's nice to know that almost anywhere I go, there's a local Little General nearby. So the next time you're on the road, look for the Little General sign and tell them Hugs sent you.
Built for America, built Ford proud. Thornhill Ford Lincoln is proud to offer you our all-new Thornhill Value Plus warranty, giving you 10 years, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty on most all vehicles. Get going. The road to total savings starts with...
Welcome back, everyone. Chris Kidd and Nathan Bush here with you. We're getting ready for the playing of the national anthem, so we'll step aside for another 60-second break and be back in 60 seconds here on Video Productions and WVOW Radio.
This is Boone Memorial Hospital. Compassionate, personal, quality care that's close to home with caring, skilled physicians and large private inpatient rooms.
Boone Memorial Hospital, bringing medicine home.
Community Strong. We are Thornhill Ford Lincoln, your hometown dealer located on 119 near Chapmanville. Go Thornhill and expect the best with total value, support, and savings on your next vehicle. Don't miss out. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and thornhillford.net.
Peyton, what are we doing here?
Welcome to Peytonville. Nationwide helps protect everything you see in here, Brad. Every family, every business, even Mrs. Hoffman's dream of retiring to become a yoga instructor.
Oh, they have backstories.
Here, I got more to show you.
Welcome back, everybody. Chris Kidd and Nathan Bush here with you as we're getting ready for the pregame introductions on both sides as Wyoming East started out of the locker room. And that starting lineup for the Warriors will be junior Tanner Witten, who has been a huge Chapmanville killer in the first couple of games. He is their leading scorer at 17.6 points per game. Then you have Garrett Mitchell, a sophomore, Chase York, a senior, Chandler Johnson, a senior, and Tucker Cook, a junior, in the starting lineup for the Warriors. On the other end for Chapmanville, it will be 6'1 junior Colton Craddock, 5'11 sophomore Devin Wortman, 6'1 sophomore Isaiah Smith, 6'6 freshman Zion Blevins, and 6'5 sophomore Brody Dalton, the leading scorer for the Tigers. And again, the experience of Wyoming East going up against 4 players in the starting lineup for Chapmanville that are all sophomores or freshmen. An interesting dichotomy between the two.
Well, but you can't discount some of these players for Chapmanville who have played in big games before. And that would be Brody Dalton. That would be Hunter Jeffrey. We guys that have stepped up and played in those moments. We've seen Colton Craddock do some defense and play in big games. So these are kids that, while they say sophomore, they say freshman beside their name, these are kids that have played in big moments before.
Yeah, again, you've had Brody Dalton and Isaiah Smith that started for Chapmanville last year with that senior-laden club, an experienced 2-time championship club. So it has rubbed off on some of the younger players, and you've seen this Chapmanville club really grow after starting the year 1-3. They've gone 6-3 since then and have been competitive in every game almost this year, minus the Logan game where they were just blitzed from the outset.
Yeah, and it's been a fun season for the Tigers. It's been more, instead of the dominant season we're used to from the Tigers, it's been more of a roller coaster, and Coach Napier has really shown his coaching ability this season, Chris. You know, whereas in the past he's had some of those great stars and he can do things a little differently in those Division I talents. This team's young, and he's had to coach them up and let them understand their roles, and he's done a great job, as has everyone on this coaching staff, to get this team ready and get them into this position, in a position that maybe a lot of people at the start of the season didn't think they'd see Chapmanville in a regional final.
Wyoming East will be wearing their green shirts, green shorts with Warriors written in white across the chest with white stripes. Chapmanville in their all-white uniforms with black and orange trim down the sides, and Tigers written in black across the chest in cursive, as this is for Chapmanville looking to be their 5th straight year they've gone to the state tournament. They've been in the state title game 3 consecutive years, and they've had 5 straight tournament trips in the last 6 years. Can they keep it going this evening as we're underway from Danny Gobby Gymnasium? Wyoming East will have the ball first, going right to left across your computer screen and radio dial. Chapmanville left to right, as York will start out at the top of the key, dribbles to his left, down low pass knocked away by Smith out of bounds. It'll stay with Wyoming East.
And we're going to see a lot of this heavy going and really tough defense if these officials let the guys do what they do. And again, we talked about this the other day, Chris. First team to 40 probably takes this game.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a moment as well, as York gets inside. Short jumper rolls off, no good, and rebounded by Craddock. Again, Chapmanville has only cracked 60 points twice this year. This is a definite team that is built on defense. Now tonight, which team can find enough offense? As Smith over to Blevins on the left side. The Workman tried to go down low, but his pass intercepted and taken away by Mitchell.
Yeah, I think Workman telegraphed that one a little bit.
Now here's York, drives in left side, comes in on Blevins, stops just shy of running into him, and he banks it in.
Blevins was in position to take the charge with a nice play there to go up with the left hand and finish.
York, he had 12 in the sectional final loss to Bluefield, scores the first two tonight. Smith thought about a three top of the key, instead goes to Workman. They have double team Brody Dalton down low. Again, they're going to try and find anyone to be able to beat them tonight except for him. As Blevins, the freshman, spins in, turnaround hook shot. He's fouled on the play by York, and he'll go to the line.
Yeah, and Blevins was the guy who stepped up big time in that second half against Liberty Raleigh. He had 17, which matched Dalton's 17 for that night in the win for Chapmanville. And this is a Chapmanville team. Even if they get down a little early, Chris, they won't quit. So Wyoming East, they can take a lead here as they'd have early on, but again, Chapmanville always battling.
And again, actually, the foul was on Johnson, so that'll be his first instead of on York. As Blevins hits the first, Blevins had 17 points to co-lead Chapmanville in that sectional final against Liberty Raleigh, along with Brody Dalton, as the freshman's second free throw rolls off, no good.
He's going to be a special player for this Tiger team, Chris.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of improvement from him from game one till now. His pass goes off of Johnson, but he's able to gather it back. Gets it back up top for Witten. Swings it cross court for York on the left wing. Drives in on Smith, and they're going to get a push on Isaiah Smith.
And Smith there just lost his man in coverage. I don't even know if it was Smith. There were so many switches there in the defense with Coach Napier wanting the team to trap, and that was just a foul. Probably a smart foul, honestly.
That'll be team foul number one against both sides. 6:36 left in the first quarter. 2-1. Wyoming East leads it as Fleming got his hands in and ties up York, and that'll give it over to Chapmanville.
Yeah, and that was a good play by Fleming there as he was able to get his hands in there and tie the jump ball up, and now here comes Craddock with the ball.
Again, Chapmanville averaging 50.5 points per game on the year. Wyoming East 56.7. Wyoming East allowing 57.1 points per game. Chapmanville giving up 49.9. So again, these are two very good defensive clubs. Fleming goes down low for Dalton, fakes, fadeaway jumper, and Chapmanville has the lead.
And Fleming actually may have got the ball knocked loose, but it was able to find Dalton, and now the press is on from Chapmanville.
Dalton had 15 in that first game against Wyoming East to help give Chapmanville the win over the Warriors, 39-38, as it's 3-2 Chapmanville in the early going. York spins inside, kicks it out. Three on the way from the left wing, and count it for Tanner Witten.
And Witten flashed there, and Chapmanville doubled out on the perimeter, and they weren't able to find him, but he stepped out and knocked down a three anyway.
He had 19 against Chapmanville in the first game, 17 in the second game. He scored 20 or more points 6 times this year, so he's the man that Chapmanville is looking to keep intact tonight. As Craddock gets it out front for Smith. He'll drive in left side over to Fleming. He'll put up a three from the left corner, over the rim, no good, and rebounded by Wyoming East.
He had to hurry that shot because the pass was a little low.
Now here's York, spins inside against Craddock. Pump fakes, gets him in the air, short on the layup though, and rebounded by Blevins.
Yeah, he won't get an easier one than that. And Craddock did a good job there, but just left one short there, and John Blevins gets the rebound.
5-3, Wyoming East leads it. 5:09 left in the first. Smith gets it on the right wing. Looks down low, gives it up top for Fleming. He'll launch another three. This one off the back iron. Smith gets the long rebound, back to Fleming. He's not shy. Three on the way again, and this time he hits.
You give him enough looks, he'll knock him down. We saw him hit 8 in one game this year. I believe it was Fleming that did that.
He hit 8 threes and had 25 points against Mingo Central, and he gives Chapmanville the lead back at 6-5. As they break the pressure, does Wyoming East. York drives in on Blevins, gets by, he's cut off at the baseline. Now gets it up top. Witten takes the jumper, no good off the side of the rim, and Blevins with the rebound.
Witten may have got away with a little push there. Refs are letting him play, though. Very consistent so far in this game.
And we've seen that throughout the regional and sectional games this tournament, and that's been a good thing to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
As Craddock gets it over left side, now out to Smith. Smith penetrates into the middle, gets free, puts up a short jumper, rolls off, no good. Blevins and Craddock crash the boards, but it's taken away underneath by York. Now here he comes into the front court, the lefty, spins away, gets by Fleming, now has to get back by him again, kicks it out front, three on the way, no good off the side of the rim by Tucker Cook.
And you have no idea how hard it is to guard a left-handed ball handler.
Now they get it over to Smith. 6-5, Chapmanville leads it. Dalton, fadeaway jumper from the elbow off the side of the rim, no good, and rebounded by Johnson. Now up ahead, they get it, and ball knocked away from Witten, but it goes into the hands of Johnson. As York gets it. Across the timeline, dribbles into the middle, gets by Craddock, and York will lay it in.
York with a tough shot there. Craddock did all he could, but York with just a good finish there with the left hand. And again, back and forth this game has been for the first half of the first quarter.
And York has such a quick burst. He's been hard to stay in front of here in the first quarter. 7-6, Warriors lead it. 3:22 to go in the first quarter. Here's Craddock over to Dalton. He'll take a left wing three off the rim, no good, and rebounded by Wyoming.
That's not a shot you see Brody Dalton take very often. Not really what he wants to do.
Up top with it is Mitchell. Gives it back to York. 1 point lead for Wyoming East here in the first quarter. York will reset with Colton Craddock on him. Now he's set to go as he dribbles towards the left corner. Jumps it back out top for Mitchell as he'll make the grab in front of Blevins. Now back to York.
York is stout. He's built like a high school wrestler.
He barrels his way in like a wrestler. Can't hit on the shot, but the rebound goes to Johnson, and he'll lay it in.
Yeah, and Johnson just boxed out there and was able to get that rebound. And it's a 3-point lead for Wyoming East.
9-6, Warriors lead it. 2:33 left in the opening quarter. That's the Wyoming East section trying to get their team to play defense on this trip as Dalton drives in on the left block, forces his way in, and Brody Dalton puts it in.
Can anybody else use angles or the glass like Brody Dalton? He absolutely can just find his way in and angle a shot up and make it fall.
And then just a sophomore, and he's shown so many flashes of brilliance this year as York into the middle, kicks it out. Brad Napper wanted to travel, didn't get it.
Yeah, probably should have.
Now here's Witten back out to York. He tried to tell the official that's twice now he didn't get the call as York will now launch a three off the front iron, no good, and rebounded by Dalton.
That's a tough shot from York there, trying to get up a contested three-point shot. Craddock was right in his face.
And Coach Derek Brooks said after they lost to Bluefield, they took too many outside jumpers and settled for too many bad shots. As they get it over to Craddock on the right wing, down low for Blevins, got free. Now here comes Johnson. He gets him in the air.
Yeah, the basket won't count. They will get the foul, though. It'll be underneath. Blevins with the pump fake didn't go up soon enough to get the foul and the shot.
Well, that will be foul number 2 now on Chandler Johnson with 1:40 to go here in the first.
He may have took one right in the eye there. And wiping his eyes, I believe.
Johnson averages 5.4 points per game, and he may be down for a while as Bryson Huff checks into the game. Workman will inbound, gets it into Blevins underneath on the left block, forces his way up and lays it in.
Changed hands on the shot, too, Chris. That's a tough take there from Zion Blevins.
Now Chapmanville back in the lead at 10-9, minute and a half to go in the first. Workman now guarding York as they switch him onto him. York spins inside, kicks it over to Witten. He gets free in the corner for three, no good. Rebound, though, comes down to Mitchell as he'll regather here for Wyoming East. Back up top for York to reset the offense. He'll dribble to his left again, kicks it into the corner again. Three on the way again, this time no good again. As Cook had a good look but couldn't get it down.
That's a good look for Wyoming East. Chapmanville lucky that one didn't fall.
Dalton in the middle. What a quick move, but a rejection by Witten, but Blevins chases it down.
Well, Witten played that well because he could have went with any of those fakes that Dalton had. He timed that perfectly.
We're down to 50 seconds left in the first. Chapmanville with a 1-point lead. Gets it over to Smith on the right wing.
I would be surprised if Chapmanville doesn't hold for one here. Well, I'm surprised.
Workman goes for three, no good. Rebound tipped up by Dalton into the hands of Blevins. He'll go back up with it. He can't finish. Dalton gets the rebound. He'll go up and finish.
And Wyoming East is angry. Do we got blood here?
It looks like Smith may have got nicked on his back here.
Yeah.
So it'll be a medical timeout for Smith to get patched up.
Medical timeout just sounds like the worst thing ever, but it's just a cut. Like medical timeout's like, we need the ambulance post.
Yeah.
But no, it's just like, you just got to cut.
And thankfully, they'll probably have enough time between the first and second quarter to get that taken care of.
Yeah, there's just 30 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Now the last 6 points have gone to Chapmanville.
They're up against the 10 seconds.
York having to get up the court, had it almost knocked away by Craddock. Now does have it knocked away. York goes diving to the ground for it. Gets it back out top. Mitchell, he'll go for three off the back iron. Craddock with a strong board and a foul on the back end of it will go on Cook.
And Wyoming East forced a shot there they did not need to take, Chris. I think they went a little too quick. They could have waited on that shot and maybe got a better look at it.
Yeah, again, they have the ball to start the second quarter right now.
It's almost like a 2-for-1 when you have the shot clock in your favor in college. for the NBA.
Now Chapmanville will likely get the last look. 10 seconds left in the quarter as Workman crosses the timeline. Down to 7 seconds. Over to his left. Gives it off to Fleming, but off his hands.
We spoke too soon again.
And again, Workman got right on Fleming, gave it up to him, and Fleming, I don't think, was ready for it.
Yeah, just a little sweat there calls that one. Wyoming East has got 3 seconds.
Now here's Mitchell with 1 second. He's from half court. It'll be too strong, and that'll end the opening 8 minutes of play as Chapmanville leads it 12-9 after 1. You're listening to and watching Chapmanville Tiger basketball action right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
Did you know that 1 in 8 women will develop breast cancer in her lifetime? At Logan Regional Medical Center, your breast health is important to us. Our caring staff uses the latest technology, like 3D mammography, in a comfortable and welcoming environment to help you stay on top of your health. Speak to your provider about a 3D mammo at Logan Regional Medical Center. Always here for you.
Back for the start of quarter number 2 here from Danny Gobby Gymnasium. Chris Kidd and Nathan Bush with you for this Region 3 championship game between Chapmanville and Wyoming East. Winner moves on to the state tournament. Right now, Chapmanville leads at 12-9 as York spins inside, gets underneath.
He traveled.
And now the official gets it. And Derek Brooks and his staff upset. They thought the ball had been knocked free.
I mean, if it was, I didn't. But then again, we're up here at the top, so hard to see.
Yeah, Chapmanville had been lobbying for that for a while here, and they finally did get the travel. Again, we couldn't see if the ball was deflected or not, but that, even if it was, I think it's a makeup for a couple earlier as they go down low for Dalton. And as he tries to get free, kicks it out to Fleming. Fleming back underneath to Blevins, takes a dribble, goes up, had it knocked away. Ball loose underneath and taken away by Cook. Again, looks like Wyoming East into a 2-3 zone now to start this second quarter as Mitchell gets it on the right wing, penetrates in, hangs in the air, can't get the shot to fall, but there's Cook on the boards, back out to Mitchell. He'll line up a 3, and this one will go.
That's a big shot for Wyoming East to tie this game up. Now Chapmanville and Coach Napier is barking orders. He is not happy right now.
Now it looks like Wyoming East going back man-to-man here on this trip as we're all even at 12 apiece. Fleming down low to Dalton. Dalton works his way to the middle, tries to spin back baseline, goes up with the left hand and gets it to go.
Good finish. He got hit on the arm. Officials didn't call it, though.
Now 14-12, Chapmanville back the other way in transition. Wyoming East gets free, layup underneath, no good for Huff, and rebounded by Chapmanville.
Boy, they're letting them play on both sides.
I'm going to say, this has been a physical game so far as Dalton double-teamed in the corner, dumps it off to Craddock on the right block, swings it over to Blevins, ball knocked free, and a whistle and a push on Chapmanville.
Yeah, and Chapmanville loose ball foul there as this referee who looks eerily similar to Wallace Shawn from The Princess Bride. I don't know his name, but I can't not look at him and think that. It's a compliment. Trust me, I love Wallace Shawn, but
now here comes Smith back into the game.
Oh, he must have been bleeding from the head.
Yeah, they've got his whole head bandaged up right now. Boy,
he looks like Prince.
I was going to say that must be a nasty cut he had on his head, but yeah, they've got his whole head bandaged up right now with white tape. As he comes back in, starts on the defensive side, and almost forces a turnover, and did force a turnover as Huff was out of bounds with it.
If he doesn't wear that to school tomorrow, then, you know, you should call him out on it.
I was going to say, that's going to be a pain getting off later, but yeah, in this situation.
For him, maybe. Wouldn't for me. No hair, no problem.
Chapmanville has the ball back, leading 14-12, 6:15 to go before halftime. Fleming on the left wing, goes over to Smith in the corner, back out to Workman, now to Dalton at the left elbow.
Travel,
He shuffled his feet before he took off.
Took off without the dribble, and Coach Napier doesn't like the call, but that is the right call.
As we said, it's going to be tough sledding on the offensive end for both sides, and thus far, it's kind of lived up to where we were in the first game between these two. As Huff into the front court, back up top for York. Dribbles in on Workman, hands it off for Cook at the top of the key. Cook back to York on the left wing in front of the Chapmanville bench. Workman picks him up as York goes to the free throw line with it. Huff picks up his dribble and looks. Now gives it to Mitchell. Mitchell in the right corner. He'll take a jumper from there. Tough spot, no good. But Witten goes over Dalton, gets the rebound, count it, and the foul.
Yeah, and Dalton didn't like the call there. Thought he got pushed, but then went up and swatted at the ball, and the officials are going to call that every time.
Right now, offensive rebounding, really the story for Wyoming East is they've gotten most of their points on second chance opportunities.
Which is rare because Chapmanville usually does not give up many offensive rebounds.
Witten's free throw in and out, no good. Rebounded underneath by Chapmanville as they come into the front court, all even at 14 apiece. Dalton drives in on the left side, kicks it out to Smith. Smith hesitates, now gives it to Workman at the top of the key. Workman will drive to his right, pull up jumper at the free throw line and count it for Devin Workman.
Nice shot from Devin Workman as he knocks that one down.
And he didn't score against Wyoming East in the first contest, but gets a bucket here. And now the Tigers back in the lead by 2. They go down low off of Cook's hands and out of bounds, and another Wyoming East turnover. Yeah,
Wyoming East turned the ball over there, and that's a big one for Chapmanville as they look to extend this lead. They're up 2.
And now anything that gets beyond a possession or two does seem a little more dire in this defensive struggle.
And we expected it to be this way, honestly.
As Blevins gives it off to Dalton. Dalton hounded by a couple of defenders. Gives it back to Blevins. Blevins back to Dalton.
Blevins probably traveled there.
Now Dalton pull-up jumper will be short. Blevins gets the rebound, puts it on the floor, and he'll draw the foul.
A lot of complaining about a lack of travels being called. I think they wanted one on Dalton, did Wyoming East, but the one on Blevins they probably should have got.
Yeah, I thought maybe
Dalton I thought did fine, but Blevins I think did shuffle.
They do get that foul on York, so that's going to be 4 against Wyoming East, 3 against Chapmanville here in the first half. As Blevins with 3 points here in the contest thus far, had 2 in the first game against Wyoming East, but that was before he saw more playing time as he misses on the first.
Yeah, he's done a great job stepping in here, and it's been interesting to see Blevins step in to this kind of starting role, him and Dalton as the underneath players here.
As he hits on the second, Chapmanville, that's where they excelled against Liberty Raleigh in the sectional championship, went 18 of 22 from the free throw line. Now they have a 3-point lead here in the second quarter as Cook drives in, pass knocked away by Workman underneath, but it's saved by Wyoming East. Pass out though, stolen by Blevins. Now here comes Chapmanville back, 17-14 Tigers. Workman looking for help as he gets to the free throw line. Now gives it back out. Smith has it at the top of the key, dribbles to his left. He's cut off underneath, needs help, gives it back out to Fleming. Now here's Workman at the top of the key, back to Smith. Smith penetrates to the free throw line, back to Workman. He'll fake on a 3 and goes to his left, finds Fleming in the left corner. He'll jack up a 3, no good, online but too long.
Fleming is not afraid to shoot from out there. He will keep shooting all night if you let him.
That's the thing, if he gets hot, then it's going to be on.
Oh yeah, we've seen him heat up.
And Brad Napper definitely giving him the green light in this offense, one of only 3 seniors on the roster for Chapmanville as they get it into the left corner. 3 on the way for Huff, it's too strong, but there's Witten again on the rebound. He'll go back up, can't get it to go, but he's fouled by Workman from behind.
He's done a great job as Witten getting these offensive rebounds here for Wyoming East. He's really kept them in this ball game with those extra possessions.
Again, him and Dalton battling down low as hard as they can right now. And again, Wyoming East physically bigger than Chapmanville.
Yeah, but I think Chapmanville's actually got the height advantage with Blevins and Dalton, but Wyoming East definitely a little bit more physical, especially when it comes to guard play.
So Witten back rims the first free throw. Second free throw up. This one is true as he gets his first one to go.
17-15 now, halfway through the second.
We're down to 3:49 left on a moving clock in the second quarter. Workman across the timeline over to his right. Picks up his dribble, goes out to Smith. He'll take his first shot of the game, in and out on a 3. Rebound tipped up and controlled by York. So here comes Wyoming East looking to tie or take the lead. York spins to the middle. He's cut off by Fleming. Gathers up and kicks it back out for Witten.
Smart play by York to get rid of that one. He had 3 Tigers on him.
Now here comes Witten under the right side. Gives it off to Huff. Back up top for York. Picked up by Fleming. York spins in again. Gets into the paint. And a charge called on York. And Workman takes the hit. And that's going to be number 2 on York.
Workman had his feet planted. and was in the right area, and that's an easy charge call.
And I like that adjustment there because York's been moving to that spin move the entire half, and Brad Napper finally moved a man right there into the middle to draw that charge.
Yeah, what happened earlier, Blevins tried to take one off of him and wasn't able to do so, but that was a good charge take there.
Now they go down low to Blevins, backs in on Huff, goes up with the right hand, can't hit, but he's fouled on the play.
Blevins going back to the free throw line.
And they're going to get this foul, I believe, on
22
Huff.
is the number they put up.
Right, so that is Huff. That'll be his first. Team foul number 6 now on Wyoming East. So Chapmanville will be in the 1-and-1 for the rest of the half. There's Blevins with his third trip to the line, and he buries the first.
Craddock's going to come back in now. So Fleming's going to have a seat.
5 points for Blevins, 3 of 5 from the free throw line here tonight. Second free throw up, this one good as well, and Chapmanville takes a 19-15 lead.
Hasn't knocked down many shots, Chris, but he's drawn a lot of fouls, and he's knocked down 4 or 6 of free throws now.
Pressure in the backcourt. York able to get across the timeline. Almost lost it. Dribbles in. Shovels it over for Huff. Takes it into the corner. Back up top for Mitchell. Mitchell gets by Workman.
He's fouled,
yeah, he put his hands on him with a push, and that's going to be 2 on Workman now.
Yeah, and looks like Workman's going to have a seat.
And Trey Butcher will see his first action.
I've never heard a crowd, and it's both sides of the crowd, have called for walks all evening. Somebody needs to tell them what a walk is.
Oh, yeah, this is definitely, you can tell the tightness on both sides.
Oh, yeah, they both want it bad.
Now here's York, spins in again, draws the contact, and he'll be fouled on a push.
They're going to call that a shooting foul.
They're going to get that one on Craddock.
And York's going back to that spin move, and I'm surprised we haven't seen a double team come over and try to prevent that spin move, because he's going with that right-handed spin move just about every time he touches the ball.
As he misses on the first free throw, it rims out. Yeah, I've noticed the same thing. Again, he gets right into that middle, puts you in the spin cycle, and it's hard to defend one-on-one.
Yeah, you can't really defend it one-on-one because of how quick and strong he is, but if you bring over another guard to double on that, I believe you could slow him down or at least draw a foul on him.
York misses both free throws, and now Chapmanville with the ball. As Wyoming East 1 of 5 from the free throw line here in the first half. They get it to Blevins in the left corner, back out for Smith.
Smith wants to shoot that bad.
And again, he didn't score in the first half last week against Liberty Raleigh, but had 8 in the third quarter. As Dalton gets it back to Smith. Quickly they get out on him. Smith into the middle for Craddock to Dalton on the right wing. Back to Smith. Now he is free. Can this one go? No good. Too strong. And rebounded by the Warriors.
Good look, though, from Smith. You want him to shoot those.
Now they get it to Mitchell. He'll lob it inside for Witten. Got good position, and he'll take it to the left side and lay it in.
Good shot there from Witten, but an even better job from Chapmanville. I mean, he had the position, but they didn't foul, so that's the smart play there from Chapmanville.
19-17. Chapmanville leads it with 1:50 left.
Wyoming East is in a 1-3-1 zone now.
Chapmanville going to need to try and shoot their way out of this.
Yeah, that's going to be a tall task for the Tigers.
Now Butcher, he'll launch a three, too strong, but it goes to the other side into Blevins' hand. He lost it, but Dalton picks it up, takes a short jumper off the side of the rim, no good, and rebounded by the Warriors.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough for Chapmanville. They're an inside-out team, and it's tough against a zone like that to try to just isolate and shoot your way out of it. Very tough.
Derek Brooks will call for a 30-second timeout with 1:24 to go in the first half, and Chapmanville leading by 2. Just a reminder that Nationwide Insurance agent Greg Dalton is a proud supporter of Chapmanville Regional Athletics and the community of Logan County. For auto, home, life, and business insurance, call the Greg Dalton Agency at 304-855-4906. Greg Dalton Insurance with offices on Main Street in Chapmanville and Main Street in Logan. For all your sides, there is Nationwide. This is WVOW Logan. And again, the Man Hillbillies qualifying for the state tournament last night with a win over Wahama.
Yeah, big third quarter for the Hillbillies. 29-6 third quarter they had. Or excuse me, 19-6.
And the Logan girls with a win last night over Pikeview. They're into the state semis tomorrow night. You can listen to that on WVOW.
Yeah, they'll be back at 7:15. Tug Valley girls will be in action, I think, tomorrow. I don't have that time in front of me, but they will be back in action tomorrow.
Yeah, I believe Tug Valley girls in the state championship game after the forfeit, unfortunately, for Gilmer.
No, that's the Tug Valley boys.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so they made it to states without having to play.
Now they get it into the middle here for Cook. Down low they go. Pass almost knocked away by Butcher, and a travel called on Mitchell.
Yeah, he took off without dribbling. He doesn't like the call, but even the coach said, yeah, you did.
and you know, that's good for a coach there just to settle their player down. Even if they don't think they were guilty of it, I said sometimes you just need to be reassured to settle down.
And they're back in that zone again, 1-3-1.
And Coach Napper comes with Hunter Jeffrey now down low as he gives it to Butcher in the left corner. Back out to Dalton as we hit 1 minute to play in the first half. Dalton swings it over to Smith. Smith on the right wing, into the middle for Craddock, dumps it down low to Jeffrey, spins inside, he gets caught, and he's traveled.
Yeah, he took Coach Napper saying, shoot that, you got the size, go with it. Jeffrey was looking to be a little too unselfish.
And Chapmanville's done that a couple times tonight where they've taken the extra chance for a pass instead of just putting up the shot, and now Butcher commits a foul 90 feet from the basket.
Terry Bucklew, the Wolf, back in the WVOW studio letting us know Tug Valley is playing right now, the girls are, and he will keep us informed. The game just got underway, so we will give you updates on that score.
Okay, well, again, I was told that it was a forfeit that they got into the finals.
No, that was the boys won the regional final.
Okay, then that was the miscommunication.
Yes,
then.
If you'd read my Facebook posts on WVOW Radio, you would know these things.
That's it. We're just going to chalk that up to miscommunication in school on that one.
It's hard when you got two teams both in state tournaments to try to keep them separated. You know, I understand.
And now Mitchell hits both free throws, and we're all square at 19.
Yeah, it's a tie ball game. Jeffrey's out on an island right now, but Dalton didn't see him.
He gets it over to Smith, into the middle for Craddock, back out to Dalton. Down to 35 seconds. We'll see if Chapmanville tries to run it down.
I think they're going to.
Brad Napper trying to spread things out. Again, Blevins on the bench, Workman on the bench with 2 fouls, so is Fleming. So a lot of the offense on the bench right now for Chapmanville. It's Dalton with 20 seconds.
Blevins right there.
Okay, Blevins just came back in.
He just checked in.
Okay, yeah, he was out.
Sorry, I'm not trying to correct you constantly.
Oh, no, I'm glad you saw it. Now here's Dalton, gives it over to Jeffrey. He'll take a baseline jumper with 8 seconds to go, and he hits it.
That baseline jumper is a good shot for him. Wyoming East in a hurry now.
Tried to draw the foul. He'll heave from half court at the horn, off the front of the iron, no good. And that will do it for the first 16 minutes of play, and it's as tight as we thought it would be, with Chapmanville nudging out Wyoming East 21-19 in the first half. We'll be back for our halftime show right after this and talk about everything that's gone on here in the first 16 minutes and try and figure out exactly what's going on with Tug Valley as you're listening to and watching the Region 3 Championship game with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
Hill Attorneys at Law. We are not the biggest firm, but we're not the smallest firm either. We're just what you need. We live here. We work here. We are good at what we do. We help families, victims, and those that need justice.
I'm Woody Hill, and if you've been hurt and you need justice, call Woody.
Woody Hill Attorneys at Law. Family law, divorce, and personal injury.
Call Woody.
Our world has changed a lot in a short time, but your health and safety remains our #1 priority. We have the supplies needed and processes in place to keep you safe. We've implemented visitor restrictions, and we are reducing physical contact as much as possible. Patients and employees are required to wear masks for your protection and theirs, and your care team is screened daily. So don't wait to get the care that you need. Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you.
Peyton, what are we doing here?
Welcome to Peytonville. Nationwide helps protect everything you see in here, Brad. Every family, every business, even Mrs. Hoffman's dream of retiring to become a yoga instructor.
Oh, they have backstories.
Here, I got more to show you.
21-19, Chapmanville leading here at the half over Wyoming East in the Region 3 championship game. Chris Kidd with you. Alongside me, Nathan Bush, Daniel Miller, our camera operator on video productions, Robbie Mounts, our engineer on video productions, and Terry Bucklew, our engineer back in the WVOW studios. Well, again, we said this would be a race to 40 more than likely here tonight, because that's what it's been in the first two games. And right now we're dead on pace for it with a 21-19 Chapmanville lead at the half.
Yeah, and we kind of expected this. These are two teams that don't get in a hurry on offense, really are just grinded out teams. And honestly, Chris, these are two teams that are kind of tailor-made for the state tournament, because that's the kind of game you got to play if you don't have the shooting or the big names that these two have had in the past. Because you've seen some great players come out of both schools, D1 athletes. I mean, the list goes on and on. But both teams young. Chapmanville especially young. If they make it state tournament, this is the kind of game they're going to have to force other teams into playing. And the defense on both sides has been excellent.
And again, you look at the first half scoring on both sides. Starting with Wyoming East, they were led by Tanner Whitten with 8 points, Garrett Mitchell with 5 points, Chase York with 4, and Chandler Johnson with 2 points. On the other end for Chapmanville, they're being led by Brody Dalton with 8 points, Zion Blevins with 6 points, Isaiah Fleming with 3 points, Hunter Jeffrey and Devin Workman with 2 points apiece to round out the scoring. And again, as we said, we're going to have a lot of coverage of the state tournament coming up the rest of this week with the girls tournament with Tug Valley and Logan still in it, as well as next week with Man in it. Again, they will play on Tuesday at 5:30.
They take on Tucker County.
So they'll have the 1 seed, and a lot of people curious, well, at least I was last night when I texted you on whether or not they would be 1 or 2 with Tug Valley. But again, going off regular season merit and maybe just the head-to-head being tied in 1-1, and Man with the big win the first time, Man getting the edge over Tug Valley for that 1 or 2.
Well, again, Man's they had 2 losses. One was to AAA Logan, and one was to Tug Valley. Coincidentally, both at Logan Fieldhouse.
Yeah, I was going to say, as long as the state tournament's not being played there, I think TJ Blevins will be more than happy at this point.
And Tug Valley's losses, of course, the one to Man, and I'm not sure the other loss they sustained, but off the top of my head, I don't have their schedule in front of me. But again, to me, that's 1A, 1B in the state in single A. And the big shocker, James Monroe getting eliminated in overtime last night because they were figured in the top 4. They get eliminated. Pendleton County, 15-0. They get the 3 seed. So a lot of people had a lot to say about Pendleton County maybe not getting some respect. But again, they take into account scheduling and everything like that. So for my money, Tug Valley and Man, I'm hoping for that rubber match. I really am. I want to see that as a state championship game.
I agree. I think a lot
and
of
also,
people...
if I'm in town for that game, I know that I could probably go into anybody's house in Naugatuck or Man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. But those 2 towns will be empty if that happens.
But yeah, I have a feeling that'll be the crash course we're on pace for. Again, obviously anything can happen in the States.
Oh,
but
yeah,
anything. I think those 2 have kind of proven to be head and shoulders above everyone else in single A this year. So that'll be a fantastic matchup if we get it again. And the championship for single A is at 10 a.m. on Saturday with these 4-class systems now. So it's going to have some different times to it.
Yeah, Coach Clyde Farley and his girls, if they're able to get there, they have to get up early to play that one.
Yes, again, the semis for Man and Tug Valley would be on Thursday instead of Friday typically, and then obviously championship be on Saturday after that. So again, going to be different scheduling for the state tournament with the 4-class system, but more ball games as well, and I think that'll be a really nice touch for the Civic Center.
More ball games, an extra day, and extra teams. So if anything, that gives more teams the opportunity to get there. So that's pretty cool, I think, for everybody involved. And one of these teams is going to be there for Class AA, and it'll be interesting to see after this game, because last night they had the rankings out like 10 minutes after the Man-Wahama game. So I'd say before 9 o'clock, maybe even before 9:30, we'll have the seedings, and hopefully we can get that out to you on WVOWradio.com on our Facebook page if we can. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where everybody ends up.
And Nathan, now we go to our Logan Regional Medical Center keys to the second half. And what do you see as the key for Chapmanville to try and earn their 5th straight trip to the state tournament?
They need to not give up so many offensive rebounds to Wyoming East. Wyoming East has had a tough road to hoe, as one would say, in southern West Virginia. And they have to go in and really fight hard to get shots, but they're getting easy putbacks. And that's really what's kept Wyoming East in this ball game. and Chapmanville cannot afford to give up too many offensive boards and second chance points.
Well, those are your Logan Regional Medical Center keys to the second half, and the key to your health care is with Logan Regional Medical Center, offering care for every stage of life, from the Women's Center to pediatrics and primary care physicians. Logan Regional Medical Center, always here for you. We'll be back in 2 minutes for the start of the third quarter as you're listening to and watching the Region 3 Co-Championship game with us right here live on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
General Stores knows West Virginia, but what some may not know is what LG is doing in your communities. And I'm here to tell you how Little General, with the strength of their 100-plus stores, is helping to enrich lives and empower families in West Virginia. Like the Norma May Huggins Cancer Research Endowment Fund, which is fighting to cure cancer every day right here in West Virginia. Locally owned and operated, LG has always been there and always will be. Little General Stores, committed to West Virginians. Boom!
The road to total savings starts here, Thornhill GM Superstore. Find new roads to 119 in Chapmanville, your hometown full-service Buick, Chevy, GMC dealer. We are professional grade and community strong. Expect the best and save thousands with Thornhill.
Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services, founded in 1975 by Riley Joe Evans, is a full-service funeral provider. And 2020 makes it 45 years of offering services that respect all faiths, personal preferences, and financial considerations. They're the only funeral home in Boone, Lincoln, and Logan with its own crematory. Contact Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services at 304-855-3232 or visit www.evans-funeral-home.com or like Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services on Facebook to see their updated obituary information.
If you've been seriously injured, your life has changed forever. That's why it's important to have a good attorney on your side. At Woody Hill Attorneys at Law, we're here to get you what you deserve. We have a legal staff and team of attorneys ready to help. We live here, we work here, and we fight here. If you're a victim of serious injury, call us today. There are no fees unless we win for you.
Call Woody.
This is Boone Memorial Hospital. Compassionate, personal, quality care that's close to home, with caring, skilled physicians and large private inpatient rooms.
Boone Memorial Hospital, bringing medicine home.
Back for the start of quarter number 3 here from Chapmanville, West Virginia. Chris Kidd and Nathan Bush with you as we are 16 minutes away from seeing who moves on to the state AA tournament in Charleston, West Virginia next week as the Tigers lead it 21-19, and Chapmanville will have the ball to start the third quarter. Brody Dalton will walk to the far end and be ready to inbound. Again, Chapmanville in their all white uniforms, Wyoming East in their all green uniforms. And we'll see whose offense can get enough going here in the second half or which defense is able to stand up the tallest.
Yeah, it's going to be a back and forth half, I can tell you that.
Craddock gets it on the outside. Oh, he had a man open and just missed him, and now they give it back to Workman.
Yeah.
Back out to Blevins. Blevins at the top of the key, back over to Workman, and he's called for the travel.
And Workman flashed underneath, and the defender got caught up in the pick, and Craddock just didn't see him.
A missed opportunity for Chapmanville on that trip. Yeah. Now here comes Wyoming East.
And here comes the spin move.
Jort gets to the middle, stops at the free throw line as Craddock tried to sneak him from behind and make a steal, but he's able to stave him off. Now to Witten. He'll drive in on Dalton, bullies his way in, can't finish at the rim, but there's Johnson on the putback, and he'll tie the game.
Again, offensive boards. Chapmanville's given up several offensive rebounds here in this ball game that's really kept Wyoming East in it.
Now we're all square at 21 apiece as Craddock gets it on the right wing. Back to Dalton in the middle. He'll drive in. Man goes to the ground, and a charge called on Dalton.
And Dalton likes to go inside, likes to use his body, try to draw fouls. And right there, Wyoming East was waiting on him.
So again, first 2 possessions of the half, and both times Chapmanville not able to get off a shot with a walk and then a charge. Now in the backcourt, lost by Huff, and he falls out of bounds with it.
Yeah, I think Workman got over there and flushed him and swatted the ball, and Huff tried to save it and just fell out of bounds.
Or excuse me, that was Cook on the play.
Like I said, Cook.
Cook ends up losing it, so now turnovers on both ends to start this half as Craddock on the left wing, back out to Dalton. Again, all tied at 21 here in the early stages of the third quarter. Dalton into the middle for Blevins as he got knocked down, but nothing called. Back out to Workman. He'll put a 3 up from the top of the key, but short. Rebound tipped up and controlled underneath by Cook. Again, the outside shooting will also be big. Chapmanville only had 1 3 in the first half go. Wyoming East had 2. Now here's York finding a crease on Workman, gets all the way to the rim, but he misses on the layup.
Yeah, and that one was just one of those, I think he just went a little too fast.
So both teams missing a couple opportunities here early in the third quarter to try and build a lead as Workman puts up a floater at the free throw line and he gets it to go.
Yeah, and they're going to have to find another scorer, and Workman seems like he's trying to be that guy to help out Brody Dalton and Zion Blevins here.
So he's got 4 now in the game, 23-21 Chapmanville as Mitchell bounces across midcourt to Cook, dribbles in, gives it off to Witten. Back into the corner for Cook. Cook dribbles out of the left corner, trying to find help, gets it over for Mitchell at the top of the key. He'll drive in, pump fakes on Blevins, kicks it out. York, he's all alone from the left wing for 3, and he buries it.
Did not leave York that wide open. Chapmanville was trying to do some help side, and York just got free, and that gives Wyoming East a lead now.
24-23 in favor of the Warriors. 5:39 left in the third. They go up top for Workman. He'll put up a 3 straight on, short. Rebounded there by Craddock. He'll try and go back up. Had it knocked away by Cook and stolen. Now it's loose on the floor. Johnson able to grab it and gives it over for York. As they're still down in the backcourt, Craddock and Johnson on top of each other. Finally they get free. Now here's Mitchell on the left wing. Back up top for Witten. Witten waits, now gives it to Johnson on the wing, into the corner for Mitchell. He'll put up a 3 off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound knocked around, and Dalton grabs it.
Good defense by Chapmanville on that 3, as I think that one was a rush 3-point shot that Wyoming East did not need there.
We're down to 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. 1-point lead for Wyoming East, 24-23. As they go up top for Smith. Smith yet to score in this game. They really need him to try and get going here as well, as now a push from behind will go against Cook.
Push on Cook there. Craddock had to post. They're saying he pushed him as the ball was getting thrown underneath. That'd be the second there on Cook.
It's one team foul apiece, but again, we saw Smith not score in the first half against Liberty Raleigh the other night, and then he had 8 in the third quarter. They get it into the corner for Smith as he thought about it. Now gives it over to Dalton, back to Smith, gets it up top for Craddock.
And with that bandage, you don't know if there's any kind of discomfort there that might be limiting him.
And again, they really have been shadowing him. They know he's the outside threat as Craddock, or Workman rather, almost lost it, but able to shovel it to Craddock. Now they'll reset at the top of the key.
Man-to-man for Wyoming East.
Gives it over to Workman. Workman thought about another 3, instead gives it to Smith. He gets free. Could this be his time? Yes, it is.
Actually, it looked like Wyoming East was confused whether to be man-to-man or 2-3 zone there, and Smith got free and knocked it down.
So his first bucket of the game comes in the third as they go underneath to Johnson. He's blocked from behind by Craddock. What a play by him. Now here comes Chapmanville back, 26-24 lead midway through the third. Workman over to his left. Stops, gives it up top for Smith. He's guarded by Cook. Now they hand it off to Dalton. Dalton on the wing. Looking over, gets a screen from Blevins, takes it into the right corner, pull-up jumper, and it's there for Brody Dalton.
Tough shot for Brody Dalton, but he's able to get it to go, that little baseline jump shot.
Now he's got 10. Here comes Cook back the other way. Lost his footing, and I thought it was a travel, but they give it out to Mitchell. Now here's York. He'll drive in left side on Dalton, and it'll be a block, counted, and the foul.
That was a close call. Officials call the block and the basket there. That's on Dalton.
That's going to be number 3 now on Brody Dalton. And Brad Napper furious about the call.
He did not like that call.
And now being informed by P.D. Clemens that that's 3 on his star sophomore as York gets the free throw to fall through.
At this point, I don't know if you can actually set him down. I mean, it's 3 minutes on the clock.
And you're still here in the third quarter, but yeah, tenuous
I guess you have to.
As Butcher comes to the scores table, the lead is now down to 1 for Chapmanville. Craddock gives it up top for Dalton. Dalton will wait.
Haven't seen much from Blevins this quarter. They've really limited him, have Wyoming East. And actually, right now, this might be the best thing for Chapmanville to do with Dalton with those 3 fouls, is just kind of run the clock.
Yeah, they just got Craddock holding the ball out near midcourt, and now a 30-second timeout by Brad Napper with 3:05 to go in the third and a 1-point Chapmanville lead. Just a reminder that Nationwide Insurance agent Greg Dalton is a proud supporter of Chapmanville Regional Athletics and the community of Logan County. For auto, home, life, and business insurance, call the Greg Dalton Agency at 304-855-4906. Greg Dalton Insurance with offices on Main Street in Chapmanville and Main Street in Logan. For all your sides, there is Nationwide. This is WVOW Logan. So again, neither team has led by more than 4 points in this game, maybe 5 if I'm not mistaken.
It's not been by much.
And again,
it's not gotten over 2 possessions. I know that.
Yes, we knew that this was going to be about an evenly clash affair here between these two, and it has been about as tight as a prom dance right now. As Craddock will inbound from the far side. Thank you.
I haven't heard that one. I haven't heard that one before. It's pretty good.
Here's Blevins on the left wing. Looking down low, instead will give it back up top for Workman. Now to Butcher on the left wing. Butcher back up top for Workman, over to Craddock. We fall under 3 minutes to go in the third. Again, Dalton on the bench now with those 3 fouls. Smith gets to the free throw line. Pull-up jumper, no good. Rebound tipped in the air and controlled by Witten. So here comes Wyoming East with a chance to regain the lead as York crosses midcourt. Cut off by Craddock and foul on him.
Yeah, Craddock there was going for the steal, and Coach Napier is, you can tell, just shaking his head here on the sidelines. And that'll be the 3rd team foul for Chapmanville.
That'll be number 2 on Colton Craddock. As they inbound it up top for Johnson. 2:34 to go here in the 3rd quarter. As Cale Lambert into the game for Wyoming East now, as York spins to the middle, dumps it down low for Witten against Craddock. Turnaround shot, won't fall. Craddock knocks the rebound away, and it goes into the hands of Workman.
Good defense by Craddock.
They're able to stay in front of the big man. Now they go to Blevins underneath. Jumps into the middle, turnaround jumper, no good. Tried to get the rebound, but Witten tears it away.
That's a shot Zion's got to take, and he's got to try and knock that down. They really need him now with Dalton on the bench with 2 minutes to go.
Now York gets all the way in, and another blocking foul called on Chapmanville as York will go back to the line.
Yeah, and I believe that's the right call again on that block. Quick update while we're setting up for the free throw. At the end of the first, Tug Valley 11, Tucker County 5 in the girls state single A semifinals.
And we'll be getting out to that at the conclusion of this game as York misses on the first.
If it's still going on, we will, and I assume it will be. And then stay tuned. We've got girls quad A action coming your way too, including Morgantown and Wheeling Park.
Both free throws missed, but Chapmanville can't get the board. But now what a strip by Blevins as he knocks it off of Witten and out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a nice play there. And again, Wyoming East has like quite a few free throws at the line, Chris, here in this one.
And again, they're now 4 of 9 from the charity stripe in this game. Chapmanville 4 of 6.
We saw that for Logan and Winfield the other night. Both teams left a lot of free throws at the line. Could have made a huge difference in that ball game.
And the same thing happened to Liberty Raleigh here the other night against Chapmanville. Craddock with it on the right wing, gives it to Smith at the top of the key. 1:45 left in the third. Chapmanville leads at 28-27. It goes down low to Jeffrey. Backs in on the left block, spins to the middle, puts up the hook shot, and Hunter Jeffrey gets it to go.
Nice shot from Jeffrey, just using that body and banging underneath and causing Wyoming East not to be able to stop him out of bounds.
Oh, and Johnson's pass was a mile over Witten that time, and Witten had an almost clear path to the basket had he been able to hook up with him.
Yeah, he did. And I think James Barker's actually talking to Witten now about coming to play quarterback at Chapmanville. That was a beautiful pass.
Yeah, he just tried to lead him too far, and he air melded as well. And I think he maybe got a little overexcited seeing how free he was.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He just kind of sent that one, and now Chapmanville's got the momentum and a 3-point lead with 1:20 here in the third to go.
Yeah, as we said, with Dalton on the bench for those 3 fouls, Chapmanville's taking their time on offense. They go down low to Craddock. Craddock spins in on the right side on York, and he lays it in.
And we've been waiting for that one all night from Craddock as he gets the bucket to go, and this will probably be Chapmanville's biggest lead of the night at 5.
32-27 now. Cross-court pass for Johnson and a push on Jeffrey, and that'll be now team foul number 5 on Chapmanville.
And they're going to be in the bonus here very soon, so they got to be careful the rest of the way. You don't want to give Wyoming East too many free trips.
So 1 team foul against Wyoming East here in this quarter. 57 seconds left in the period as Lambert will inbound underneath the basket. Looking to get it in, still looking. Finally lobs it in deep, and he finds York. York will drive into the middle, kicks it out, and throws it away again.
And this defense from Chapmanville has just wore down Wyoming East and is forcing them into just simple mistakes that they normally would not make.
And again, the amount of running and the amount of conditioning Brad Napper does with his club is where it pays off
it
right
does.
here.
I mean, it's like a military training.
And it is. I mean, he has lauded defense ever since he's come here. Everyone focused on the offense all those years, but it's been defense that won those championships.
Oh, I believe that 100%, especially with all the pressing Chapmanville does. And now Chapmanville trying to run this clock and get the last shot.
Wyoming East has the possession starting the fourth unless we get a tie up here. So we're down to 23 seconds. Smith out top gives it to Jeffrey, now to Workman. Down to 18 seconds as Lambert on Workman almost reached in and got the ball back to Jeffrey. Jeffrey wanted to get it to guard and finally does with 10 seconds as Workman over to his right.
And Workman's got to go now.
Gets a screen with 5 seconds, gives it off, knocked out of his hands back to Workman, and he lost it out of bounds with 2.2 to go.
Yeah, at least Chapmanville was able to run some clock down. Now at this one, they're going to have to try and prevent an easy shot from Wyoming East and not foul.
As Mitchell will heave it towards midcourt, intercepted by Craddock. He'll heave it at the horn, almost, as it banks off the backboard, and no good. But Chapmanville stretches their lead to 5 as we head to the final 8 minutes of play. Back after this as you're watching and listening to the Region 3 Championship game with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services, founded in 1975 by Riley Joe Evans, is a full-service funeral provider. And 2020 makes it 45 years of offering services that respect all faiths, personal preferences, and financial considerations. They're the only funeral home in Boone, Lincoln, and Logan with its own crematory. Contact Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services at 304-855-3232 or visit www.evans-funeral-home.com or like Evans Funeral Home and Cremation Services on Facebook to see their updated obituary information.
There's that cute guy from 12C.
Go talk to him.
Yeah, no. Plus, it's not even like he'd be into me or whatever.
Hi, you just moved in, right? I would love to tell you about all the great savings you can get for bundling your renters and car insurance with Progressive.
Oh, I was just...
Oh, Tammy, I found your retainer in the dryer.
Chapmanville 8 minutes away from making their 5th straight state tournament trip. Can they hold off Wyoming East? Chris Kidd and Nathan Bush with you. It's 32-27 in favor of the Tigers as Wyoming East has the ball to start the 4th. And York gets a quick burst to the basket, and he'll lay it in.
Yeah, and York was able to get around Smith there. Blevins tried to block it, but wasn't able to. Easy layup for York. It's back to 3.
York has 12 points on the evening. Smith thought about a 3, but hesitates, gives it to Workman. Now to Blevins on the left side, back out to Workman.
2-3 zone for Wyoming East.
Now here's Blevins, puts up a floater on the baseline, and it goes for the freshman. He's got 8 points now. Lead back to 5. Now here comes Cook back the other way. His layup rolls off.
And that's been a couple of those layups that Wyoming East has had good looks at, and they've just rolled out.
And it's been eerily reminiscent of that first game here between the two, where Wyoming East missed so many easy shots around the basket, and it's been a repeat of that tonight. Smith open on the far side. They get it to him. Here's a 3, but that's going to be well off the mark, and Blevins reaches over the back.
Yeah, Blevins with the over the back there. That's a pretty easy call.
And again, I think Smith may have tried to rush that.
Yeah, that's a shot you don't need to get in a hurry with. I mean, he had a wide open look, and I don't think anybody was going to get there.
And that is going to be team foul number 6 now on Chapmanville. That's number 2 on Blevins. So Wyoming East will be in the 1-and-1. Inbounds pass knocked away by Dalton, and he'll get it.
This pressure has absolutely just wore Wyoming East down, and they're back in 1-3-1 again.
Now here's Smith in the corner, into the side for Craddock, back out to Workman, back into Craddock, over to Dalton.
Man, Chapmanville ain't going to get in no hurry.
And 34-29, Chapmanville leads it. 6:43 to go on a running clock in the 4th. Dalton.
Skip passes are not smart against a zone like this, though, and you can't afford to get trapped.
Chapmanville just working it in that triangle right now as they get it over for Smith. Again, thought about the jumper. Instead goes to Craddock. Now to Dalton. Down low for Blevins. Blevins on the left block. Kicks it back out to Workman. Over to Smith. He gathers. He'll fire a 3, and he's fouled on it as York came out and hit him on the hand, and that'll be 3 free throws for Smith.
Yeah, and Smith again in the right place at the right time, and that was a great pass to find him there by Smith, who caught the ball in midair and threw it over.
It's the 3rd on York, and now Smith goes to the line. A chance for this to maybe grow to 3 possessions for the first time this evening, but Smith misses on the first.
Yeah, and you can't leave too many free throws at the line. Both sides kind of had their struggles at the charity stripe.
Now they'll move Craddock down low. And Smith with 3 points. He had 14 in the first game against Wyoming East as he cans the second free throw, and he had 10 the other night against Liberty Rock.
Biggest lead of the game for Chapmanville as they've got it to 6.
And this is the largest lead for either side tonight in what has been a tough fight all the way through, and now the lead has grown to 7 as Smith hits 2 of 3.
Yeah, that pressure has just given Wyoming East fits here in the second half.
York gets it out to Witten. Witten drives into the middle, pull up left-handed shot, no good, and Blevins with a great block out. Now here's Smith racing across the timeline, closing in on 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
And they're going to extend that zone again, and Chapmanville's just going to play catch.
And again, now Wyoming East is going to have to get out of it and go man-to-man because Chapmanville's just bleeding the clock with this. And now they do as Workman, he's reached in on by Mitchell, and that'll be a foul on Mitchell.
Luckily for Wyoming East, they've got quite a few fouls to give in this instance, so they can afford to be a little aggressive here and try to go for those turnovers and try to go for those reach-ins.
That is now just team foul number 3 on the Warriors. As Craddock will inbound.
And they're doubling Smith right now.
And trying to keep it out of the ball handlers for Chapmanville. They get it to Craddock, though, and Craddock.
And they're back in man-to-man.
Yeah, he was waiting on York to come out on him. Now he goes to work. He spins inside, dumps it off to Blevins, comes in on the right side, misses on the jumper, and rebounded by Wyoming East. It's poked away from behind by Craddock. Tries to save it as he goes diving into the stands, but just out of bounds. What another great defensive effort by Craddock.
And he didn't even spill that gentleman's drink.
I think he almost found Logan Banner's Paul Atkins down there.
Oh, that would have been a shame. I'm only kidding.
Paul, he was calm and cool on that as York gets inside, had the ball knocked away and got it back and was fouled.
Crowd again angry, there was no travel. Ball got knocked away.
That'll be on Workman. That's going to be his third. And that will put York at the line to shoot 2.
And York desperately needs to get these for Wyoming East.
As he does hit the first one. So the lead now down to 6 with 5.5 minutes to play. And again, Wyoming East will be in the 1-and-1 the rest of the contest. Second free throw by York is up, and this one good as well.
There's 2 big free throws to cut this game to 5. Again, we said, Chris, we figured first team to 40 would win this one, and timeout.
Brad Napper wants a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay here with 5:30 to go and a 36-31 Chapmanville lead. So as you said, Nathan, Wyoming East still has 3 fouls to give here.
Yeah.
Going to be more aggressive on the defensive end. Chapmanville does need to be careful with the ball, but also with the over-aggressiveness could lead to a couple of easy buckets if they're looking up ahead here.
Yeah, again, it's kind of a situation for Wyoming East where they've had a couple of turnovers that have really cost them so far in this game, but Chapmanville here with the ball, they're not getting in any rush. They're playing smart with the ball. If you're Wyoming East, you got to be aggressive, and you may have to gamble and go for some steals here.
Now out of the timeout, it'll be Chapmanville ball underneath their own basket. As both sides, I believe now, Chapmanville with 3 full timeouts, Wyoming East with 4 timeouts, including a 30, still at their disposal. Tigers will have Craddock inbound as everyone gets in position. Blevins will go back deep to create less clutter.
Yes.
Well, now he'll run back up for extra help. Long pass up ahead to Dalton. Gets it. Witten and him one-on-one. Dalton is rejected by Witten. What a block by him.
Great timing from Witten there to block that shot because Dalton and him are one-on-one.
Now here's York. Dribbles into the middle. Tries to dump it off and throws it through the hands of Johnson.
And Witten, you could tell there, York was upset that they weren't looking for his pass because that would have been an easy layup had Witten caught the ball.
They inbound it to Dalton in the backcourt. Him and Witten one-on-one again as everybody clears out. As Dalton will bring it across the timeline. Chapmanville leading at 36-31 here in the fourth quarter. They get it to Smith. Smith on the right wing, dumps it down low to Dalton. He gets free. Count it, and the foul for Brody Dalton.
That's a big shot for Brody Dalton to put that one through. That'll get Chapmanville now a 7-point lead with potential to get it to 8.
And that was a terrific give and go by the 2 starters from last year, Smith and Dalton, just playing catch there, and Dalton was able to shake free for that layup as he's got 12 points for the game. That'll be the 3rd foul on Johnson now.
Yeah, and that was a big take there.
We're down to 5:01 to go in the 4th.
Lane violation.
And Dalton hits the free throw anyway. And it should be out of bounds for Wyoming East here. I think everyone kind of forgot that Dalton had the M1. So now everybody's aware as Chapmanville has built their lead to 8 here in the 4th. They inbound it for Johnson, now to York. Gets himself ahead of steam as Dalton stays away with those 3 fouls. Fake to pass now out to Mitchell. Nice pump fake. Gets free for a 3. No good. Rebound underneath by Workman.
Mitchell had a good look at it. Nice pump fake.
Up ahead to Smith. Smith drives in and off the hands of Johnson, as probably a good thing there, as he was almost face-to-face with Blevins on that pass.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, I'd say the York for Wyoming East, he's a heck of a dribbler. He has done a great job handling the ball for the Warriors here this evening.
Yeah, I got to say, I've been as impressed with him as I have anybody.
Yeah, he's really played well.
Craddock out front with York on him. Hands it off to Dalton with 4:36 remaining in the 4th. Then Chapmanville trying to get back to the state tournament for the 5th straight year. As Smith dribbles towards the center. Tried to dump it off again, and Johnson gets in the passing lane and out of bounds as Johnson stepped on the sideline.
I think actually that should be Wyoming East ball.
It depends on when he stepped out, because it went off the back of Smith.
He threw it off the back of Smith, but I couldn't see where he stepped out of bounds. I thought it was going to go Wyoming East ball, but again, officials had a better look at it than I did.
Now here's Dalton one-on-one with Witten. Gets to the free throw line, now retreats back out front again. Chapmanville has the luxury of staying patient here with an 8-point lead. Now they give it to Workman with 4:12 to go in regulation. Workman over to Dalton at the top of the key. He'll bring it back out once more. And that's the thing, Chapmanville trying to shorten the game now and get to a free throw shooting contest here at the end as Workman. Nice work with his pivot foot. Gives it over to Blevins in the left corner. Back out to Craddock. Craddock now drives into the middle. Kicks it out to Smith. Smith, 3 on the way. Count it for Isaiah Smith.
And that will give Chapmanville its biggest lead of the evening, 11. And they've broken that magical 40 mark that we called.
And Derek Brooks has seen enough. A full timeout with 3:42 to go. Chapmanville leads it by 11 as they're on the cusp of another trip to Charleston. We'll be back after this as you're listening to and watching Chapmanville Tiger basketball with us right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
Strong. We are Thornhill Ford Lincoln, your hometown dealer located on 119 near Chapmanville. Go Thornhill and expect the best with total value, support, and savings on your next vehicle. Don't miss out. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and thornhillford.net.
If you've been seriously injured, your life has changed forever. That's why it's important to have a good attorney on your side. At Woody Hill Attorneys at Law, we're here to get you what you deserve. We have a legal staff and team of attorneys ready to help. We live here. We work here, and we fight here. If you're a victim of serious injury, call us today. There are no fees unless we win for you.
Call Woody.
Built for America, built Ford proud. Thornhill Ford Lincoln is proud to offer you our all-new Thornhill Value Plus warranty, giving you 10 years, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty on most all vehicles. Get going. The road to total savings starts with Thornhill.
42-31, Chapmanville in the lead with 3:42 to play. Chris Kidd and Nathan Bush here with you. As Wyoming East has struggled here in the second half, they need some offense in a hurry if they're going to have a shot to come back here. As they get it out for Witten. Swings it over for York. York tries to spin in. Chapmanville sends a double at him. As he drives baseline, he steps out of bounds. Once again, Wyoming East stepping out of bounds.
Quick update here at the end of the 3rd of this boys regional from the other side. Polka 63, Roane County 16.
Whew. Well, again,
so you're saying there's a chance.
And a tough evening for Roane County as it looks like Polka.
I mean, look who they...
Oh, and they get a foul on Witten as him and Dalton got their feet tripped up.
Yeah, and I mean, come on, Polka, I mean, really not fair trying to play that team right now. I mean, they're so good.
Yeah, they're going to be a very tough out in the AAA field in the state tournament.
They're AA.
Or, excuse me, AA. Yeah, again, I continue to have my fun trying to figure out who's in AAA, AA this year.
It's tough, I know.
As Workman drives in on the left side, and he's reached in on, and he got the shot off, I believe, so that'll be 2 shots, and it will be.
Yeah, and that'll actually be the last foul for Wyoming East. The Chapmanville's not in the 1-and-1.
That's going to be the 4th foul on Chandler Johnson. So that's now almost evened up the team fouls. 7 against Chapmanville, 6 against Wyoming East as Workman buries the first.
Big shots here for Chapmanville, extending their lead to 12.
And the Tigers 4 of 5 from the free throw line here in the fourth quarter. As we said, this is where they got the job done against Liberty Raleigh in a tight game the other night, but Workman's second one roll off. So now 12-point lead for Chapmanville with 3:08 to play in the fourth. Mitchell gets a screen up top from Johnson. Now is caught, gets it back out front. York calling out a play here as we fall under 3 minutes. He'll give it back for Mitchell, over for Cook. Again, Chapmanville still playing tight defense here as York lost the ball, gets it back, gives it to the free throw line for Cook. Turnaround jumper, and nothing falling right now for Wyoming East as we get a tie up by York, but the possession arrow is still with Chapmanville.
Chapmanville will get that one back. Smith, he might actually want to keep that headgear. He's had a pretty decent night tonight with that.
I was going to say, once they put that on him, it's been very reminiscent.
It's very Prince-like, like I said earlier. You know, kind of like the old.
He had 10 points in the second half after not scoring against Liberty Raleigh in the sectional final. He has 8 in the second half after not scoring in the first half tonight. So unlike you, he's definitely turned into a big second half man for the Tigers.
We may see some intentional fouling here soon.
We're down to 2:27 to go. Chapmanville closing in on another trip to Charleston with another brilliant second half performance. Back to Craddock. He gets to the elbow and penetrates back out. And again, just smart right now.
He ain't no hurry.
Again, such a young club and playing so wise right now. There's only 4 players in this starting lineup are all sophomores or freshmen. Now Steele up ahead to Witten. He'll go up for the jam and misses it. And that is the type of evening it's been as it goes off of York and out of bounds.
And I'll tell you, that kind of sums up the game for Wyoming East. They just have not been able to put 2 in the basket here. They've only got for this half 11 points for the entire half.
And again, you look at the scoring, York has done almost all of it. He scored 10 of their 12 points in the second half.
I don't know what's going on down here.
Coach Brooks is not happy about something, and he's behind his own bench right now.
I think he's behind his own bench.
Well, because Smith is there.
Smith is there, but let's see, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, Witten went up for the jam and missed it off the back of the rim, and then York tried to get it back but knocked it out of bounds. But yeah, only 12 points in the second half for this Wyoming East ball club, and they have just not been able to find anything beyond York here in the second half. Johnson's the only one with a bucket besides him. Witten's been held to scoreless.
Yeah, and that's just defense from Chapmanville. But again, just a few missed opportunities for Wyoming East so far in this half, and that's really cost them the game. There's the foul.
Yes, and now with 1:57 to go, they'll send Brody Dalton to the line as Cook commits his third foul.
Yeah, and here comes the 1-and-1, and Wyoming East was trying to make a statement there with that dunk, and I think, Chris, that's there. In this situation, you got to lay that one up.
Yeah, I mean, the statement is that it's been that type of night for Wyoming East. I mean, it's just been where they've had so many shots around the rim.
And they've just rimmed out. Yeah. It's just been bad luck, really, because they've had some great looks that just haven't fallen.
I could count at least 6 layups that they've missed tonight as second or first free throw up and good by Dalton.
Chapmanville's just capitalized. And again, the second half, Chapmanville's really limited Wyoming East to 1 shot. And that's really made a huge difference here in the second half. Where in the first half, multiple offensive rebounds kept Wyoming East in this game.
Yeah, that's a great catch. Again, we talked about it in the first half, how they were hurting Chapmanville on the offensive boards, but Chapmanville has really shored that up in the second half as Dalton hits both. 45-31 as York gets ahead of steam, counted and the foul.
And this is the time for Chapmanville. You don't need to be pressing, I don't think. I think you can afford to back off into your half-court set. And if Wyoming East is going to the rim, let them. Don't foul them.
Yeah, it's like we're talking, or what you've heard from announcers before, don't let them score with the clock stopped as Blevins commits his third foul.
And especially a 3-point play, and they get it. And that cuts the game back down to 11.
York continues to try and backpack his club here in the second half.
Boy, he's had a great game for Wyoming East.
They get it up ahead, and again, he only had 2 the first time against Chapmanville, but he's had a big game tonight. Now another steal. Here comes Wyoming East back. Witten, big 3 if it goes, no good, in and out. Rebound tap back up quickly by York, and he puts it in.
And it's back to 9, so again, the game not over yet, and there's another turnover.
And now Chapmanville, for the first time here, coming a little unglued and seeming a little unsettled.
They need to settle down now, Chris. This game is really starting to The pressure cooking is going. Wyoming East, a bucket here could be huge.
Minute 29 to go in the fourth quarter. 45-36. Chapmanville. York gets inside. Layup no good as he goes to the ground. Rebounded by Craddock. Big stop there for the Tigers.
Yeah, huge stop.
Now they're going to foul Workman in the backcourt as Mitchell reaches in. And that'll be his second. This will be a 1-and-1 for Workman.
Tug Valley leads Tucker County at the half in Charleston, 23-12. The girls' single-A semifinal.
And again, we'll get things out to that game shortly after our broadcast tonight, as York has 9 points in the fourth quarter alone, has 15 in the second half, and 19 for the game as Workman calmly hits the first.
And York's absolutely played his tail off tonight, Chris. He's done everything but pop the corn.
He is. And I mean, he had a similar good game the first time, just could not get anything to fall in that game. Tonight's been the opposite, as second free throw misses by Workman. 46-36 Chapmanville, 1:12 to go. York drives in on the left side, spins again against Workman, and Blevins hits the turnaround, and a timeout called by Coach Brooks.
They ain't going away.
So this will be their final 30-second timeout. And again, still a 1-and-1 left for Chapmanville here.
Yeah, a couple, actually. But yeah, one, you're right. I'm sorry, I counted wrong.
The next one will be the 9th team foul. But again, 1:06 to go. Anything, or not, I don't want to say anything can happen. Again, there's plenty of time for a lot to happen.
Oh, yeah. Minute 6 is a lifetime in a basketball game.
And again, Wyoming East has found their offense here, or at least York has found more offense, I should say.
He has. And as we crank up the Barker family game night party mix here in Chapmanville.
And James got a great playlist down.
He does.
But yeah,
that's what I'm calling it from now on, though, the Barker family game night party mix.
Yeah, again, tonight, here in the second half, Johnson still the only one to score in the second half besides Chase York, excuse me. And Chase York still looking for some support from his teammates, but if he can get it on the defensive end here, he'd be more than happy.
They're going to try and force this turnover here. That would be huge if they could.
As Craddock will inbound, gets it into Dalton.
Now here comes the foul.
And Witten has to come up and commit it with 1:04 to go.
This is really going to extend this ball game.
So that'll be number 2 against Witten. And again, Witten, as we talked about, leading scorer on this team at 17.6 points per game, had 8 in the first half, but is scoreless in the second half, and had those 2 big outbursts against Chapmanville, 19 and 17 points respectively, but just hasn't been able to get going in the second half. And Dalton now with a big 1-and-1 here. The crowd falls silent. Free throw up and swishes it through.
Man, you could have heard a gnat break wind in here.
Lord.
Quiet.
I was going to say, I didn't want to speak too loudly and end up upsetting the apple cart. So now Dalton gets another as we fall silent yet again. Lines it up for the putt. Is this one up, and it rolls through.
What it reminds me of was golf, but Dalton sinks the second.
And he's 5 of 5 from the free throw line here in the fourth quarter. Lead back to 10 as Johnson rejected by Blevins on the way to the basket. Dalton gets it and spins free. He's hanging on to the ball, looking to get fouled right now. Still looking, and finally the foul is committed with 50.8 seconds.
Dalton need to be careful. He almost got a 10-second call there. He was dribbling so much in the backcourt.
That'll be number 3 on Garrett Mitchell, and now Chapmanville will be in the double bonus.
Yep, that's 2 now for Chapmanville, double bonus.
Brody Dalton with 17 points here tonight. Again, had 6 in that first quarter to get Chapmanville's offense going. Now looking to seal the deal at the charity stripe. His first free throw on the way. This one's going to be short.
Wyoming East broke. They couldn't remember if it was 1-and-1 or 2. Hey, that's smart. If you don't know, go.
Yeah, we saw that with, I think, Mingo Central and Logan in a regular season game just a couple weeks ago. So now Dalton will get another free throw. Second free throw up. This one rattles home.
Quietest gym in America when Dalton shoots that free throw.
I'm going to say, these fans have definitely become educated over the years. As driving in, and foul committed by Blevins as Johnson goes up.
Not a foul Blevins needed to commit either. I think that's one where you just let them lay it up.
Yeah, again, Blevins with 4 fouls now. But, yeah, that's one of those freshman errors that you make occasionally, and Blevins.
He'll learn. That's one of those. It's a learning experience, and no better way to learn than to play in a big game like this.
And Johnson misses on the first, as these are all critical now for Wyoming East. But now Johnson with 4 points on the evening.
Wyoming East is going to have to be perfect from here on out.
Johnson had 10 against Bluefield in that sectional final, misses both, but York gets the rebound. This time is rejected by Blevins and taken by Smith, and he'll be fouled. 40.5 seconds away from Chapmanville going back to the state tournament. And now Smith will get a chance to go back to the charity stripe. He's 2 of 3 from there tonight.
They got long walk down the court. Smith here to shoot this one.
And again, Coach Derek Brooks and Wyoming East having to think what might have been here tonight after looking at some of the opportunities they had around the rim and just not being able to get it to fall. And in the second half, it was the Chapmanville defense that really made the difference as Smith hits the first.
And again, Chris, I'll tell you this is one of those tough places to try to get a win, too, here in Chapmanville. Not an easy spot to come in and win a big game.
A second free throw good for Smith as well as Hunter Jeffrey into the game. Zion Blevins checks out. He gets an ovation, and now this Chapmanville crowd starting to sense it as Mitchell gets it over to Cook. 13-point lead for Chapmanville. A whistle and a blocking foul as Jeffrey tried to take the charge that time, but that'll send Johnson back to the line.
And we're back to the line. The last 2 minutes of this ball game have taken about a month.
I was going to say, we got through 3 quarters in just 50 minutes, and the fourth quarter's been almost half an hour here.
Yeah, when you try to slow the game down and stall a little bit, that's the way it'll go. And the Tug Valley girls may catch up to us.
As Johnson does hit the first this time, as Fleming will check in, and Coach Napper looking like he's wanting to get his seniors maybe on the floor here for these final 30 seconds.
Yeah, their last home game.
Johnson hits on both as the lead down to 11 now with 31 seconds left as they get it into Dalton. He'll dribble around in the backcourt, not wanting to give up the ball. He splits 2 defenders, hits across midcourt, now into the middle, drives inside, goes up, and he'll lay it in. And what an exclamation point that is on what is going to be another regional crown for Chapmanville. As hit the floor comes York one more time. His shot rejected by Craddock. Gets it back, drives in, and a charge as he runs over Workman. And that'll be 4 on York. And Chapmanville now 9.9 seconds away.
Yeah, now they're going to send in the rest of the seniors, I believe.
A couple of subs here as Butcher, Isaac Butcher, Trey Butcher into the game. Now here comes the third senior, Chris Farley, as he'll get into the game. And Brody Dalton celebrates as he comes to the bench, screaming, "Let's go." And again, missed out on a chance for stakes last year as a freshman. He'll help carry his team there this year as Jeffrey will inbound it as Wyoming East will drop back and concede. And this Chapmanville club, again, losing Obina Anachille Killen, losing Andrew Scholl, losing Philip Mullins, losing all these state championship performers. No one thought they'd be back. And the Chapmanville Tigers are heading back to Charleston for the 5th year in a row and for the 6th time in the last 7 years.
What a game for the Tigers. Big win for Chapmanville, and they're headed home now. I guess you could almost call Charleston home for them. They're headed back to state tournament.
And what a job by Brad Napper and his coaching staff and these young Chapmanville Tigers. Everyone chanting rebuilding year, rebuilding year. And Coach Napper says there is no rebuilding. We're going back. And he's in the state tournament now for his 6th straight year with one from Mingo Central on that record as well. And Brad Napper, who is 8-2 in the state tournament, will take another club to Charleston. We'll step aside for a 2-minute break and be back to recap tonight's action right after this as you're listening to and watching the Region 3 Championship game with us right here live on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on Video Productions.
Did you know that 1 in 8 women will develop breast cancer in her lifetime? At Logan Regional Medical Center, your breast health is important to us. Our caring staff uses the latest technology, like 3D mammography, in a comfortable and welcoming environment to help you stay on top of your health. Speak to your provider about a 3D mammo at Logan Regional Medical Center. Always here for you.
Built for America, built Ford proud. Thornhill Ford Lincoln is proud to offer you our all-new Thornhill Value Plus warranty, giving you 10 years, 150,000-mile limited powertrain warranty on most all vehicles. Get going. The road to total savings starts with Thornhill.
Coach Bob Huggins here at your local Little General store. As I travel this great state, it's nice to know that almost anywhere I go, there's a local Little General nearby. So the next time you're on the road, look for the Little General sign and tell them.
You see the Chapmanville Tigers on the floor along with the cheerleaders celebrating as they are going back to the Charleston Civic Center after a 53-40 win tonight over the Wyoming East Warriors. Chris Kidd and Nathan Bush here with you tonight. And again, this was a 2-point game at halftime. Nathan came out in the third quarter. Both teams seemed fairly jittery at the beginning of the third quarter. Brody Dalton picks up his third foul with about 3 minutes to go in the third with a 1-point lead, and Chapmanville extended that to 5, and they never looked back after that.
No, they did not, Chris. It was one of those where it just seemed like Wyoming East and Chapmanville came out, and you thought it could go either way, and they were all just trying to get the jitters down and knew what was going on and what the situation called for here. Chapmanville was just able to get it done tonight here on their home court, and they really did a nice job in securing this win and getting back to the state tournament. So congratulations to the Tigers, to the Man Hillbillies, the Tug Valley Panthers, all the area teams that made it to Charleston this year. Southern West Virginia very heavily represented.
We'll run through the final scoring real quick. Chase York led the way for Wyoming East and led all scorers with 21 points. Tanner Witten with 8 points. Chandler Johnson with 6. And Garrett Mitchell with 5 to close out the scoring for Wyoming East. On the other end for Chapmanville, 20 points for Brody Dalton led the way for them. Isaiah Smith with 10 second-half points coming in to back up Dalton. Then you had Zion Blevins with 8 points, Devin Workman with 6 points, Hunter Jeffrey with 4 points, Isaiah Fleming with 3, and Colton Craddock with 2 to round out the scoring. And one of the big statistics as well, 16 of 22 from the line for Chapmanville, 9 of 16 for Wyoming East tonight.
Yeah, and it's a big stat, and I think Chapmanville slowing down Wyoming East offensive rebounding really was what gave them this win, Chris. Both teams played well. Wyoming East missing a few key easy shots, and Chapmanville being able to slow them down on the offensive glass really helped out big time for the Tigers to get this win. So Charleston, they're still the defending champions, and they're coming back.
And again, it's going to be interesting to see where they end up at in the Chapmanville.
And we should have that information here within a little while, we're hoping. So we'll see.
And this will be the 5th straight state tournament for Chapmanville, and they're 6th or 7th in 8 years now. After missing out last year, 6 and 7 years now. So this is a team that hadn't made the state tournament until 2014, and now it's just become a regular thing for them. And this is now the 12th straight winning season for Chapmanville basketball after so many difficult years. Now they have become one of the prominent teams in all of West Virginia basketball, and a chance still here. No Logan County team has ever three-peated in any sport. Still the opportunity to do that as they head there next week. And again, Nathan and I, we appreciate everyone that has helped make our broadcast so special this year, whether it be Logan, Man, Chapmanville, even the Logan girls. Again, it's been a wonderful ride, and we were curious how much we would get in, if we get any in at all, and it's been an awesome trip to be able to get all the way back to Charleston. And I'll be there some during the week to send you some updates along with pictures and some videos of some of the action from the Civic Center, as long as they don't throw me out. And hopefully we'll be able to see Man and Chapmanville be able to make a deep run into the tournament.
Yeah. Hopefully we can see that Man Tug Valley rematch. That would be special to see for sure. And just a little thing we want to remind you of: Saturday, the Hatcher Show will be on at 9 o'clock, and we're only going from 9 o'clock until 10 o'clock on Saturday. And then at 10 o'clock, we're going straight to the Tug Valley girls game, provided they win, which it looks like right now they are leading. So if they win, we're going to throw it out to the Tug Valley girls, and we're going to go listen to the Single A state championship game. So Hatcher Show this Saturday from 9 until 10. Friendly Neighbor Show from 8 until 9.
And again, make sure you're with us for that. And again, thank all of you once again for being with us this basketball season.
Been a great season.
And again, I couldn't have asked for anything better. I mean, all three local teams playing so well throughout the year, and we get to see two of them advance to Charleston. Again, thank you to Terry Bucklew for all the hard work as always back in the WVOW studios. Butch Mounts on video productions, Robbie and Joe Mounts as well. Again, couldn't be able to bring all this to you. Jay Nunley as well for
Garrett Lester. Big thanks to Garrett Lester.
Yes, definitely.
Big help this season.
Yeah, and it's Nathan and I are just the voices you hear, but it's so many people behind the scenes that make this possible for us to do what we do, and we are so grateful to be able to do this every year for all of you out there in radio and TV land. And this concludes our run for the 2021 season, but again, the state tournament awaits for Chapmanville and Man next week. So again, on your final tonight, the Chapmanville Tigers defeat the Wyoming East Warriors 53-40. For Terry Bucklew back in the WVOW studios, Robbie Mounts, our engineer on video productions, Daniel Miller, our camera operator on video productions, and my partner Nathan Bush, I'm Chris Kidd, saying so long tonight from Danny Gobby Gymnasium as the Chapmanville Tigers heading back to the state tournament again, as you have been listening to Tiger basketball action and Region 3 co-championship basketball action right here on WVOW, West Virginia's premier sports radio station, and live on video productions.